Looking yourself in the mirror every night and asking yourself if you did the best. I mean, maybe not a mirror. It could be anything. Maybe at the end of the day, a work day, or maybe a family event, or maybe even a bad time in your life, you're going through. At the end of that day, you should look back and say, did I do everything in my power to help others around me before myself? Did I do everything in my power to help level up individuals that need being leveled up? I tell my kids all the time, when you're at school, help individuals that can't help themselves. Were you that person that day? Were you that person or were you the lazy motherfucker that day? Were you the person that looked the other way when people were having problems and didn't want to help out, and you shied away from confrontation or shied away from problem solving? If you're that person, you should be ashamed of yourself that day. But the next day, doesn't mean you're a bad person. It just means you had a fucking bad day probably. So the next day, make it better. But yeah, I think you should reflect back on your day and your week and your month, and what did you accomplish? Who did you impact? And if it's always about me, you didn't do enough to do it the right way.